Lard of the Dance is the season premiere of the 10th season of The Simpsons and originally aired on the 23rd of August 1998. The main plot revolves around Lisa going back to school after summer and meeting a precocious new student, Alex, voiced by Lisa Kudrow. Alex encourages the other girls to follow her lead in wearing makeup, having a cell phone, owning a credit card, etc. And Lisa feels left out because she doesn't feel ready to grow up as fast as everyone else seemingly has. The other girls peer pressure Lisa into organising a school dance, but Lisa is disheartened when she can't get a date. That puts her below Milhouse and even Ralph. Ultimately, the dance proves that the children are still just that. Children. Meanwhile, Homer concocts what he believes to be a genius racket in selling grease for profit. He keeps Bart off school to help collect said grease. Initially excited about this, the pair get worried as the grease business fails to deliver. The two, along with groundskeeper Willie, end up wrecking, but really saving, the school dance after their one last job goes wrong. As noted in the episode commentary, this episode title references both plots in a way that is unusual for the show. Usually the title only references the main plot. The dual meaning is fitting, in my opinion, due to the underlying connection between the two plots, the nature of growing up. Lisa often struggles to see things from anyone else's perspective, and so assumes that the new student will be a shrinking violet like her, and is taken aback when she isn't. Alex acts like a girl double her age, and as such has no issues in making friends with the other girls and encouraging them to act like her. This could have been the moment that Lisa officially tries to get back at Alex for stealing her friends and being different from her. It would have been easy to make Alex malicious as well, but that probably would have made for a mediocre to bad episode. The route they take is much more interesting. Lisa simply hasn't got to that stage of maturity where wearing makeup and going on dates appeals to her. This was something I related to when I first saw this episode as a kid, since I was a late bloomer both emotionally and physically, and in the moment it's easy to feel even further behind the others than you actually are. That idea is perfectly displayed in the episode 2, when Lisa eventually goes inside the dance and witnesses what is going on. The boys and girls are awkwardly standing on opposite sides of the hall. I can't imagine that there are many people who don't remember an awkward situation like that from their childhood. A lot of children talk the talk, but really aren't ready to walk the walk. Bart falls into this camp too, even if the subplot is more Homer-centric. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the gags in the plot are very funny, but first I do want to touch on Bart's experience. From the off, Bart is not actively trying to skip school like he maybe usually is. He's just had the whole summer off after all. He doesn't profusely object to Homer keeping him off, and why would he? It's only school. However, the longer he stays off, the more Bart starts to find himself missing school. There's a great shot just as Homer drives past the school where Bart wistfully watches everyone in the playground, knowing that's where he belongs. Like the light and sound that seeps out of the gym hall every time the door is opened during the dance, which gives Lisa a snapshot of what she is missing, Bart gets a glimpse of what he is genuinely missing. Harebrained schemes are fun and all, but they're hard work and they often go wrong. He likely has decades of hustling ahead of him. There's no need to rush out of school, even if it's often purgatory 95% of the time. That makes the other 5% that much sweeter. And yes, I am aware that Bart doesn't actually age and has been in school for decades, but work with me here. The kids in the hall come to the same realization, that there is no need to rush. Time flies quickly enough as it is. Even Alex is content to spend a night flinging grease. Ah yes, the grease. The writers find enormous comedic potential in the grease plot. The funniest exchange is that between Homer and Willie in the school kitchen. Homer's 180 in the decision to go on the offensive despite almost being in the clear is a joke I laugh hard at every time. And of course, I am from North Kilttown myself, so find it especially amusing on a personal level. The Grease Wars is also pretty funny, and has a lot of great moments, especially when Homer gets hit by the shovel. It just came out of nowhere. But the grease also acts as another motif for growing up. As the episode points out, grease is heavily associated with acne, and that itself is heavily associated with growing up, as I am all too aware. It's probably a coincidence, but it's still cool that the comedic highlight also has thematic significance. The other comedic highlight is Nelson being a purveyor of huckleberries and Skinner's reaction to it. In fact, Skinner has a lot of great moments in this episode. He pops up now and then in Lisa's story, and it is always to good effect. Every one of his lines has some great timing. None of these jokes halt momentum in the episode, and as such it's paced very well. Lard of the Dance may not be up there with the most emotional Simpsons episodes, and it may not be one of the most laugh-out-loud Simpsons episodes either, but it tells a worthwhile and relatable story in a very humorous way, and for that reason I believe it to be really quite underrated. It's aged pretty well other than the fact that most children have phones now when they're really young, and it's not a big thing, but the general situation still resonates, and for that reason, I think this is a Simpsons episode that deserves to be remembered. Thanks for watching. I want to start talking about The Simpsons more on this channel, so leave me your favourite episodes down below, and I'll get around to reviewing them. I'm not really interested in doing bad episodes just because I just feel like that market's oversaturated, but I'd really like to talk about some good episodes, especially ones that you might consider underrated. Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.